Hi, my name is Stu Ross, and I'm here in Kenya working for the Outreach Foundation. I've been here 25 years or so, um, and keeping busy building churches, water projects, schools, uh, microloans, feeding programs, just about anything we can do to help the people here. So I was brought up a Presbyterian. Went to Sunday school. My mother was a church-going person. My father wasn't. So we all went to church together with my mother, and I went to Sunday school. I never had a clear, defining moment when I can say I was born again. I grew up in the church and was always affiliated with church things. As I got older, I got involved with Medical Benevolence Foundation, which is a Presbyterian medical group. I was with them for about 10 years, maybe 12 years. I was on the board as financial chair, and I was asked by a very good missionary doctor, Stan Topple, to go and help build a hospital in Kikuyu Orthopedic Hospital. My wife and I went in, I think it was 96, when we went in 96, and we were going for 3 months, and that was basically 25 years ago. We never really left. So we built the hospital. The day we were leaving, they put on a little luncheon for us, and it just so happened that a board member from the Outreach Foundation was there. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'd like to build a church in Mai, which is basically where we are right now." And I said, "I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to go home and try and raise some money and try and build this church." And the board member, Powell Jones, he's, I think, on the board now with the Outreach Foundation, said, "Go and see the executive director of the Outreach Foundation." I did when I got back to the States, and he has brought me on, my wife and I, as volunteers, and we were volunteers for about a year, and we went back and forth to Kenya, basically helped set up the computerization of the hospital, helped with the hiring. I helped set up the financials of the hospital, and we started working on building this church. So we built the church with great difficulty, our first church, and went back to the States, and the board asked us to become staff, come on as staff of the Outreach Foundation. So that was 25 years ago, just about. And we've gotten more involved with Kenya as days went on and years went on. And lots of things have happened, lots of great things. Great people have crossed our paths. So all along, I felt that we were called to Kenya. I felt the Spirit guiding us, walking with us. So I've been able to move in reasonably high places because of the church and because of what we do. And one morning, Saturday morning, I think I was still in bed, I got a call from Patrick Rukenya, who is a minister, P.C.E.A. minister, and he was Deputy Secretary General at the time. he called me and said, Stu, you need to come right away and meet me at the Shade Hotel, which is a nice African place to have breakfast. And he said, we'll be meeting with Saitati, who was the Minister of Education at the time, a very well thought of individual. And he said he has some things he wants to present to us. So I went, we talked, and basically the deal was he was going to give the church 20 acres of land in Gongtown if we put a school on that land and built it up over the years. So I couldn't refuse. We put 2 classes there in several months, and the title of the land passed to the church. Now there is around almost 400 girls at this school, many classes. It's a beautiful school, and it all came from that one meeting with Saitati. That land now is probably worth, I'd say in the vicinity of probably 100 million shillings, which is about $1 million. And it was just over a meeting and some coffee. So great things happen. And that land is now being developed by the church. Besides the school, they want to put other buildings there, so that was a good outcome. So many good things have happened, some bad things, but like for example, about 15 years ago we had a bunch of thugs in our house, and they stole money, stole computers, cameras, this sort of thing. But God protected us. We weren't hurt, neither of us were hurt. We were traumatized, but we recovered. And all along the way, I see people, great people come into my life, like Daniel Gaconio, who's my colleague. He has helped me tremendously. Donors just come out of the woodwork. So I've never had trouble raising funds. They've always come. We bring groups here, many groups. I would say maybe 150 groups have come. All these groups bring money for churches and schools and other things. And we've just, over the years, made, I think, a reasonable impact. We've built about 425 churches, 180 schools, and we're building huge schools now, which is a beautiful cap on the work we're doing here. So I don't know if I'm born again, but I believe I'm here because God wanted me to be here. I believe Jesus Christ is my personal Savior. I believe all along I've never had to worry about anything. I feel God has been with me along this journey, and I think He'll continue to be with me. You know, I lost my wife 7 years ago, very traumatically, but I found another partner, and we've been married 5 years this June, and she has brought maybe new energy to my work, and she's a great partner in the work that we're doing. So I think God has protected me and is working with me. So that's kind of my faith story.